Some folks out there really enjoy maintaining their lawn. For them, it's kind of like a hobby. I'm not one of those people. Instead of spending my Saturday keeping up my yard, I usually will just hire someone. But I got to thinking, I've got a robot that vacuums my floors on the inside. Why don't I have a robot that mows my yard? In this video, I'm partnering with Segway to take a look at their Navimow iSeries robotic lawnmower. Many of us know Segway as the inventor of the self-balancing transportation device. Over the years, they've become an industry leader in new advances in technology like robotic lawnmowers. The Navimow was introduced by Segway in 2021. Navimow actually developed the exact fusion locating system. EFLS could achieve centimeter level precision positioning, and it just keeps enhancing. In this video, we'll take an in-depth look at the Navimow iSeries robotic lawnmower. Let's go ahead and get started. Let's get this out of the box and see what all we're working with. Right up top, we've got a QR code here for installing the application. We've got a box of accessories here. This is going to include everything that you need to get this set up and installed. Here's the EFLS system. Here's the post and stake for the EFLS system. Here's the wiring harness for the EFLS system. This is your power brick and extension cable for the charge base. There's a package of stakes here for the power extension cable and also the wire that goes to the EFLS system. You also have additional stakes to keep the charge station in place. This little case has extra blades and screws. Here is the mower. Here we've got our charge station. Here's your quick start guide and manual. Let's take a closer look at the mower. One of the first things you may notice here is the deck adjustment. So you can go all the way from 2 inches all the way up to 3.6 inches. So I do like that there's a manual adjustment for the deck. You don't have to dig into the application to set that. Here you've got an emergency stop button. You've got your mow button, your power button, and your home button, as well as an LCD display for information and to navigate through the menu. Right here, you've got the vision fence. This is going to be responsible for obstacle avoidance. On the bottom, you've got your cutting deck here. You do have these large wheels with smaller caster wheels down here on the back. So this mows with the big wheels out in front. I think that's so it can navigate rough terrain and climb hills. Getting this set up was super easy. I was able to do the entire setup process in less than half an hour. It was as simple as finding somewhere to put the base station. It does include some yard screws, so getting it nice and secure was very easy. Then I just needed to find a place for the antenna, which is how this communicates with the satellites to keep the positioning. The antenna only needs about 6 foot of clearance, so finding a spot was pretty easy. I really like these little wire stakes that you can use to fasten the wires to the ground. Making this look nice and neat was very easy. And then of course comes the fun part. So through the application, you're able to set up the boundaries, no-go zones. You control the mower with the application on your phone, kind of like a remote control car, just kind of going along the edge of the boundary. I like the fact that it has an AI mapping feature. You can push a button and it automatically finds the edges of your yard or garden, and it can map out on its own. If it gets off course there, you can stop that and retake control. I also like the fact that they have an erase option. So if you're controlling the mower and you go off course, you can erase, you can hit the erase button and it actually backs back up to a previous place before you controlled it off course. I set up a few boundaries and then I was able to make a path from one boundary to the other to get this over the top of the sidewalk. And when I was finished setting up the map, it was time to get started mowing. So one thing that makes the whole setup super easy is that it's wire free. This uses RTK plus vision in order to set up the boundary. You don't have to bury a boundary wire for your entire yard or have a wire sticking up out of the ground to kind of keep the boundary on your yard like some mowers in the past. This operates off of RTK and vision. The EFLS 2.0 Vision Enhanced Location System also knows where your mower is at all times up to the centimeter. So it knows exactly where it is, meaning it's not gonna go off course or venture into a neighbor's yard or head out to the street. It's going to be safe within the boundaries that you've set. And in practice, this did an incredible job of staying inside the boundaries. You can actually watch it on the map as it mows your yard, and you can see exactly where it is at all times. This does have a 140-degree field of view camera, which is AI assisted. It can identify more than 20 objects in your yard. It was clear from the beginning that this did a great job of avoiding trees and bushes and other obstacles in the yard. I did place a football in the middle of the yard. When it came to the football, it stopped and then turned around. So it did a great job of avoiding toys and things like that. It also avoids your pets. So you don't have to worry about this working while your pet's in the yard. And then just for giggles, I decided to stand right in front of this lawnmower, and it did a great job of coming all the way to me, and then recognizing that I was a person, that it shouldn't run over me, and then turning around and continuing its job. With that enhanced obstacle avoidance, I would feel safe having my kids playing in the yard or even having my pets out in the yard. I really liked how the Navimow was able to systematically plan out the most efficient route for my yard. The only real issue that I ran into when this was mowing the yard was if it ever had to turn around on an incline. So this definitely can handle inclines, but I found a specific area in my yard where there's an incline right at the edge. This tended to get stuck, and it could be because the soil there is kind of sandy, but it just kind of dug the tires in, and I did have to go over and move it. But really, that specific spot was the only time that I actually had to intervene with the lawnmower. Otherwise, it was totally automated and self-reliant. With robotic mowers, instead of mowing your yard every 1 or 2 weeks, this is designed to kind of just knock off the top of the grass every single day. And if it stuck to the same exact pattern every single day, that could potentially rut up your yard or destroy your grass. So I did like the fact that this automatically can change position. So it's not always going to cut the same exact straight line. It will vary a few degrees. That way it doesn't damage your yard. My favorite feature of the Navimow, hands down, is the fact that this is able to ride on the boundary. So when you set that boundary line, you can actually set this to ride over that boundary. So if you've got a sidewalk that meets your grass or a driveway that meets your grass, you can have this to kind of straddle over half on the sidewalk, half on the grass. That way you get a cut all the way to the edge of your grass. Other robotic mowers that I've tried in the past have to stay about 1 inch or 2 away from the boundary's edge, and that just means that you have to go back and weed eat those spots. Here, it gets all the way to the edge of your yard. Most of the robotic mowers out there that I've tried have very limited applications. The application that comes with the Navimow was one of the most feature-rich applications that I've seen. So I love the fact that you have zone by zone management. You can actually select one zone, go out and mow that. So maybe you have friends coming over, you want the front yard mowed, you can just mow that specific zone. These mowers are meant to mow your yard every single day, so you can set the time of day that you want this to mow your yard, and you can even do it every other day if you prefer. You can set this up to suspend mowing based on the local weather forecast. So if rain is predicted, this can return to the base in charge while it's raining and then return back to mowing after a certain amount of time that you've set. You also have some AI features that you can enable or disable for the vision fence and also the EFLS 2.0 system right there inside the application. So you can truly customize your entire robotic mowing experience. One of the main reasons that you may consider the Navimow iSeries is just how cost effective it is. The Navimow iSeries comes in at under $1,000, which is a bit more affordable than most of the advanced robotic lawnmowers out there on the market. Overall, the Navimow iSeries is a great affordable option if you're looking for a totally wire-free setup with extra features like obstacle avoidance and the ability to ride on the boundary and cut all the way up to the edge. I'll be sure to include links in the description of where you can find out more information on the Navimow iSeries robotic lawnmower and where you can purchase one for yourself. That about wraps it up for this video. Thanks guys for watching. Be blessed. I'll see you in the next one.